Welcome to Suthichai Live English. My guest tonight, Dr. Anek Lautamatat, former Minister for Education, Innovation, Science. It's a long name for the ministry, but he probably can give us the real name of the ministry. But Dr. Anek has always been an educator throughout his life, a lecturer, a thinker, innovator, and now I think he is one of the people who think about the future of higher education in the country. So tonight I'm going to discuss with him what he thinks Thailand should do to survive, for Thai universities to survive the age of disruption. สวัสดีครับอาจารย์อเนกสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับคุณสุทธิชัยครับ
Yes. So what do I call your ministry? I think it is in Thai is all war and then my history in English. So what is the full name of your former ministry?
It's a Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Technology, and Innovation.
Don't you think it's too much for a ministry to handle all these tasks? Too many? No?
Well, it's to begin with the name of the ministry represents the efforts by 4 or 5 years ago by the government, headed by General Prayut, to reform higher education along with science and technology and innovation. So they amalgamated three or four ministries together. You know, the higher education part of the education ministry and the research and funding from another ministry, and research scientific research agencies from Ministry of Science. So at least 3 or 4 ministries were amalgamated. So when you ask the questions, what is the future of education? I think we already thought about this prospect, about the threat of disruptive changes and the prospect of initiating reform or of structural changes or mindset changes or forever to tackle with these disruptive changes already 4 years ago. And we actually in this long name ministry we have done a lot of progresses, which I could mention to you later.
Please, yes.
For example, we diversify universities. You know, instead of thinking of ministry as a monolith, we rethink them as several kinds of universities. You know, we think that rather than having the one size fit all universities, we have diversified it into at least 4 or 5 kinds of universities. First of all, the research and development universities, for example, Chulalongkorn, Mahidol, Kasetsat, Dhammasat, or whatever. Secondly, we have the kind of universities that are geared toward the solving of the problems at the locality level. So, you know, at the be they regional problem, be they regional level, be they provincial level, be they local governments level. You know, the point is that these kind of university are more practical oriented, you know, more socially engaged, and they of course they have to do some academics, but the academics must not be too abstract, must be very practical, very relevant to localities, you know. And then thirdly, we have the kind of universities which is technologically oriented. like King Mongkut Institute, like
Yes.
Ratchamongkol universities, and for King Mongkut institutes, they are focused on higher technology.
Yes.
For Ratchamongkol universities, they are focused on appropriate level technology, something like that. And the fourth kind of universities are sort of religious universities, university supported or founded by Buddhism, by the monk council, by the Sangha council.
Yes.
Or they can be Buddhist in orientation, but they can also be Islamic in orientation, Christian in orientation. Their job is to make people a good guy, moral guys, to help people passing from moral deprivation to moral progress or something like that. And we also have the fifth kind, which is still in the making. That is the university that deals exclusively with arts, culture, creative industry, So that means to say we have a vision, that excellence must go hand in hand with diversity. Instead of having only one kind of university, we have at least five kinds of university, and each type would be excellent differently. Can I go on? Can I go on?
Please, because it's very interesting.
We have invented a new kind of career path for our lecturer, our professors, our instructors. In terms of, when we say career path for most instructors or most lecturers or most professors, it means how they could advance in their academic title.
Yes.
From instructor to assistant professor to associate professor, and then to full professor. Previously, it depends exclusively on writing papers to get publications, or to write textbooks to be used by the academic world, which that is good for the all kind of education, when the world is so certain, the tower of knowledge is in the university, the high tower of knowledge is in the university. But we think we come to conceive that we could reach the academic titles. We could gain academic titles from achievement, achievement, not in paper, but in the real achievement. Like for those who are interested in technology, they can gain an academic title by presenting their water pump, for example, which is very innovative, or they can present their achievement in upgrading the livelihood of the people in certain villages or certain towns, for example. Or they could present their artistic achievement, be they music, be they drawing, paintings, or sculptor or whatever, rather than having to turning them into paper first and get publication and then get the academic titles,
And most of the papers were just shelved, never referred to again.
So that's very innovative, and I have to add I have to give good news to people who are concerned, who are greatly concerned with the future of education. I have to give good news. I think we also have introduced a sandbox
Sandbox.
curriculum, sandbox curriculum. In that, we say sandbox because it's giving a lot of exceptions to rules and regulations. We are aware that universities would like to have creativity or innovation. But in the past, it was blocked, sometimes delayed, sometimes denied at the ministry level. So we came up with an idea of setting up a sandbox committee chaired by the minister, that is me, and people, instructors or professors or universities all around the country, if they would like to have an exceptional, demonstrating curriculum, an experimental curriculum, they could do it. For example, some of them think that 4 years in the universities are too long. They would like to cut it into three years if they have reasons, legitimate reasons. We allow them to have keep only 3 years of education, but they have to tell us how would they make up with the 1 year missing. And they are very innovative. They have various ways to legitimize their request, and also they can. At one time, there was a general education requirement, which takes almost about a year. Right. Now, some programs think that they would send their students to work in the communities, in the factories, in the plantation or whatever, and rather than sitting in the classroom,
so practical experience.
Practical experience, and the curriculum just encourage the students to involve their engagement with the people in those places, and having some instructors to mentor the students that this kind of problems give you a holistic understanding of life, of work, of employment, or whatever. So it's an equivalent of general education, something like that. And sometimes this sandbox program is designed to produce tens of thousands of students in 1 year. In 1 year, we have an enrollment in this kind of curriculum, in the range of 1,000 students, 2,000 students, or up to 10,000 students. How could we do it? The sandbox program would provide ways and means to do it. That is to say, rather than having the curriculum taught in one university, we seek the collaboration of the same kinds of departments, to do it one at a time. And this is not something that I just mentioned in theory, but in practice. During my term, the Japanese high-tech companies, investing mainly in the EEC, would like to have the ministry producing for them in 5 years, 10,000 new kinds of scientists and 10,000 new kinds of engineers. When they say new kinds, they mean to say that these students got to be in classroom for only 1/4 of their time. And 3/4 of their time must be engaged in Japanese factories, in Japanese plantation, in Japanese automobile industry or whatever, And when we say sandbox program, we also means that sometimes we can let non-degree people to teach our bachelor degree students or master degree students, because we see that in real terms these people are more advanced in their knowledge, but their knowledge is honed from their work, is honed from their practice, something like that.
But basically, you have to overhaul all the bureaucratic regulations covering universities. I've heard universities complaining about the inability to change because of the regulations. How far have you gone in using the guillotine system to cut all the rules and regulations into pieces?
Well, when I say that the Sandbox program, for example, it doesn't mean to say that other kinds of regulation are not in existence, but we allow certain parts of the curriculum of the universities to do on experimental basis, which has very regulations, have very small obstacle, and if that exceptional program works, we will turn the whole system into the exceptional. We turn the whole system more like the exceptional cases. That is a guarantee, a preconceived guarantee that what we experiment would become the real basis of higher education.
That's right. Yeah. So, are you satisfied with the progress so far? I mean, now that you're not
I am more than satisfied, but we are not self-complacent. We know that we moved very fast at the ministry level, but at the university level, they are not that fast. They are not that fast. It used to be the case that universities are more agile, more flexible.
It used to be that the ministry.
But the ministry level is record is slow. But it's a reverse case. During my more than 3 years term. But I'm not saying this happily. I'm saying this with great concern that for the whole country to succeed, at the ministry level now, it sends strong signal. It has a direction. To solve with the disruptive changes. And we created tools and mechanisms. But the universities are the real implementer of higher education.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm not be that pessimist either, because several universities are well underway.
Since the digitization has started, a lot of teaching, a lot of knowledge is available on the internet, and professors, teachers, lecturers would have to adapt to the new technology. How far have they adjusted themselves in approaching their students? The students, can access information, knowledge much quicker, much more effective than sometimes than the professors themselves.
Yes, that's true. The point is to make students and professors, thrive together. Thrive together. So we support professors to work with business, to work with SMEs, to work with local communities, for real benefits, for real rewards. And when we turn from, academic excellence per se to practical achievements, they, in both the students and the professors, Suthichai, we all know that Thai people are very smart, very clever, so if they know that they are working for the benefit of the people, for the benefit of the country, but also for their own benefit, they are working, they are changing very effectively. That is to say, one of my leadership in the ministry is to link universities closely with big businesses, SME businesses, local communities, business, whatever, so that we would work not from the knowledge side, not from the so-called supply side, but work from the demand side, from the problems, from the opportunities of society, of business, of communities. That is more effective. That is better for the country and also better for higher education. But we come to learn this, not so long ago, not so long ago. In the past, we only think of academic excellence, and we think only in terms of increasing our fairness, in education, so that when time comes, academic excellence would automatically turn into practical success for the country. But it's not that easy, So we have to turn it upside down, so that we would not work from departments, from textbooks, from research papers, but to work from the opportunities of the country and from the problems of the country. And when we talk about the opportunities of the country, we are in a very geographically advantageous position. We are in Southeast Asia. We are the hub of ASEAN. ASEAN having a population of 600 million, and if ASEAN was a country, what if ASEAN as a whole, as a country, it would rank as the number 4th nation in economic size, economic size after Japan, or Germany, it would be ranked higher above India, So it's very attractive for industries, for high-tech industries, and high-tech research services to come to Thailand, because Europe, United States nowadays are not that vigorous in terms of economic growth, but
Yeah.
ASEAN is very vigorous, you know.
Yes.
So I would say this to my counterparts whenever I visit them, you know, be they Minister of Education in Europe, in China, in Japan, in Korea, that Thailand welcomes you to come here and to invest in technologically advanced industries, and also to do your higher education in our country, you know. And 2 years ago, when I was in Britain, I went to see the Minister of Science.
Yes.
He told me that the University of London is coming to Thailand, to Bangkok.
Oh.
You know, yeah, and will teach several subjects, several disciplines in Thailand, and for Thai people, and also for ASEAN people, and also for Chinese people, you know. And if they come, you know, I would try. We should try to link our universities with them, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we should also link with the Eastern university, Chinese universities, and the Western universities, right?
That's right. I told them that the time has gone when the West is the center of civilization. And
you told them that? You told them that?
I told them. But they are very attentive to what I told them.
That's good.
I said University of London would benefit a lot if it comes to Asia, if it comes to Bangkok, and they teach not only in science and technology, but also in civilizations, you know. But they have to think that the world now have multiple civilizations, you know, and they have to respect all civilizations more or less equally,
Yes. That they may have come already that a university degree is not a necessary tool to get employment.
That's right.
You know, the importance of universities will diminish to a great extent if they cannot serve as some place that would boost the job opportunities.
That's right.
Or keeping up with the changes. Do you think most of the universities realize that your degrees, you know, are not as important as before? What now do you have to offer?
They are increasingly knowledgeable of this fact.
Yeah.
You know, the days when people worship degrees, you know, people idolize degrees.
Yes.
Has already passed. Has already passed. The student enrollment has been in decline during the past several years, you know. And I try to remind them that the real world achievement is much more important than academic excellence per se.
Right.
So, you know, they themselves, I mean, the instructors, the professors, got to be very closely related to businesses, you know, to national competitiveness, you know, and also to countries' creation of soft power or whatever, you know. What I mean to say is that all sectors of disciplines, you know, are very important, but it got to be practically oriented. It got to be practically oriented, you know, and the professors, you know, got to be more adept in practice. You know, sometimes I doubt whether professors who taught at business school, you know, are really good at doing business. You know,
no, some of them were. They were teaching textbooks. They were teaching macroeconomics, for example. They were teaching theories, but not, you know, practical things.
Or professors teaching in school of journalism, you know. They may not be good writers, good editors. Or professors who teach at at School of Tourism. They may not run a good, they may not run well a hotel. They could not run hotel well enough.
Yes.
So they got to be they got to move out of their complacency, and to
comfort zone, right? Their
comfort zone, and work, eagerly with people who have real knowledge, who have practical knowledge, who can turn knowledge into practice, and if we could do it, it would be very good for the students and very good for our professors too. And at one time, I told them that if they follow me closely, there would not be a chance that we would close our universities, because our universities would thrive during crisis, and we would self-correct our institutes, our goals, our strategies, whatever, and we will be much needed, even more needed than previously,
Yes. Well, with the digital disruption, it's already quite serious. But now you have AI, you have GPT, and that could write your papers, your things, and they write better articles than a lot of people.
Would give better advice too sometimes.
Better advice too sometimes. So that would pose a great threat to universities as well, because some of the basic activities done by going through or spending years to learn cannot be achieved, be accomplished by AI. Are you frightened by this trend? AI could really replace a lot of academic work.
Sometime before serious thought, I was a bit frightened, frightened for my colleagues,
Yes.
Because I'm not teaching now,
Right.
But after some reflection, I think conceptually we must never think in terms of AI replacing human teachers, or human professors, but we will always think of AI working with human professors, with human teachers. Whatever the AIs do better than us, we must let them do. But we must think that there are something that AI could not do at this point, and then we do those parts. For example, I think the future of higher education maybe not that much in imparting knowledge, because they could get it from AI, they could get it from smartphones or whatever,
Right.
But universities may be very important in giving them characteristics, giving them appropriate characteristics, giving them love of knowledge, love of curiosity, and could make them whole life researchers, or training them to thrive, to prosper in ever-changing societies, leading them from fear of change to love of change, something like that,
Right.
And this is not what I dreamed, but what I saw, I went into several formerly teacher college, nowadays
Yes.
Rajapat universities,
Right.
or even in private universities. Students come to universities not only for knowledge, but also for gaining higher status in society. They learn
Right.
how to get dressed. They learn how to get good mannerism. They learn how to have good friends or whatever. But in the past, that kind of education is extracurricular. Is extracurricular.
Yeah.
But why
Right.
don't
Right.
we embrace them and
Right.
put them into curriculum?
Yeah, that is very encouraging if people in the government start thinking along your line. But I do not see this government in particular being very active in that particular area, or maybe they have not been able. Are they continuing what you have done? Are they picking up where you left off?
I don't know, but not up to my satisfaction. But they may have done it, but I don't notice or whatever, But in general, I think I would characterize our kind of government as paying attention, only on short-term problems, short-term problems or opportunities. They care not that much on the intermediate level problems or opportunities, and they hardly touch the long-term problems and opportunities. And that is a grave problem, a serious problem for all governments. Be they past governments or future governments. And this is speaking to the goods of Thai society, to the good of Thailand. Actually, nowadays they don't touch only short-term problem. They touch only immediate problem, which is shorter than short-term problem.
Yeah, they call it
how to survive.
They call it low-hanging fruits.
Yeah, low-hanging fruits.
Because they want to pick the low-hanging fruits. It's convenient. It's easy. You don't have to work too hard to get it. But there are not too many low-hanging fruits around anymore.
That's right. There are so many problems that I think we should work, with a perspective of completing it in 20 years.
Yeah.
Recently, I am very concerned with the fact that Bangkok and the seashore provinces, of the Gulf of Thailand, are sinking. People say they are sinking at 1 to 2 centimeters each year. So within 10 years, part of Bangkok and part of Samut Prakan, Samut Songkhram, Samut Sakhon would be under the water. And if you talk of it in terms of 20 years, I think probably almost all of Bangkok would be inundated. And not only physically that our country is under the water, becoming useless or very little use of little use, physical use, but the cultural heritage would be also inundated. Talking about what Arun is under the water, what Po is underwater, what Prakel is underwater, the Grand Palace was underwater. That would be a really upheaval in society.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but if we started, if we wait idly, we wait idly until the problem is striking, we will probably, get the whole country with no future, because we talk about future, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we would like to have the future of education, which is very related to the future of the country, we have to set up, for example, a committee to
Yes.
to beginning to work on the problems of flood, due to climate change, due to global warming, And this is
Yes.
very
Yes.
related to education, because only higher education could provide the country with necessary expertise, to do whatever,
That's
to do
true.
the dikes, to do the dams, to do whatever.
Or if you were to advise the government, the present government, on education reform that you mentioned, it covers the whole range of issues related to aging society, climate change.
Aging societies too.
And the disruptions from various factors. How would the government begin, or where would you start? The serious, not covering both immediate, medium, and long-term solutions to education.
I think the time has come to Thailand to think of higher education as a key to the future of the country. When we say we would like to achieve the developed country status in how many years to come, that is to say that that is equivalent to say that that we have to have higher education as the basis of occupation, of business, of economy. We could not rely on cheap labor. We could not rely on resources, on natural resources. That is the things appropriate to the less developed status or developing status. But if we would like to be developed country in terms of status, we need to turn Ministry of Higher Education, to be the not only the basis which gives teaching and researching, but also doing high stage of development, working very closely with Ministry of Economics, Ministry of Industries, whatever, Ministry of Communication. And when you talk about another problem, aging problem, right? The aging society or the already aged society, I think we could not make people substantially increase their children. That is impossible, almost impossible. Why don't we invite immigrations? Why don't we invite qualified people from neighboring countries to begin with, and from any other countries, to come and give them education, education that would turn them into Thai citizens, into culturally alert, to culturally active citizens. Although they may have ancestry in in other countries, but they
Yeah.
come to Thailand and they choose to be Thais, I think neighboring countries, they are more than happy to be chosen as
Sure.
as our populations, our
Yeah.
citizens,
Yeah. But that requires all that we have discussed
Yeah.
requires political will. The
Yeah.
political will to make changes, real changes.
Yeah.
Do you see concrete political will now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Not
Sad
yet.
to say, not yet.
That's sad to say. I don't have that high hope for the Pheu Thai party, and I don't have that high hope for the another party, the Move Forward Party. The Move Forward Party, I just pray that they are more realistic, more academic, competent, and use more practically oriented people, to form their government if they have a chance. If they have a chance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I could see no alternatives.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Anek, for a very enlightening discussion.
Thank you.
For your experience and for your wisdom. And I think we need this kind of discussions more and more, so that we can join forces to try to at least throw some ideas into your sandbox, so that we can create the sandbox, and the sandbox being the guideline for the rest of the country. Thank you very much today.
Why don't you invite some university presidents?
Yes,
lectures?
we could, and I'll invite you too, so we can do a panel discussion on this.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
ติดตามสุทธิชัยไลฟ์กับผมทุกวันเช้าสายบ่ายเย็นมีเรื่องร้อนเรื่องวิเคราะห์เรื่องสัมภาษณ์เรื่อง Exclusive ต้องที่นี่ที่เดียวครับไปติดตามผมใน Facebook 2 เพจสุทธิชัยยุ่นกับสุทธิชัยไลฟ์และอย่าลืม YouTube ครับ YouTube ไปกด Subscribe ที่สุทธิชัยไลฟ์กด Subscribe แล้วกดกระดิ่งเตือนคุณทันทีที่สุทธิชัยไลฟ์มาในมือถือคุณนอกนั้น Twitter ไปกดติดตามและ TikTok ครับ TikTok ล่าสุดนั้นสามารถที่จะถ่ายทอดสดสุทธิชัยไลฟ์ให้ทุกท่านติดตามได้เช่นกันสุทธิชัยไลฟ์ anywhere anytime สุทธิชัยไลฟ์คือเพื่อนที่เล่าข่าววิเคราะห์ข่าวสามารถทำให้ท่านทันข่าวทุกวินาทีจากนี้ไปครับ